Hey, what's up? My name is Michael. You probably heard of my platform or my slogan. It's called Let's Start Something. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to develop a communication between everybody and anybody who sees this video. Listen, I'm so happy with the response that I've gotten so far. Is the support. Like, I like the support. Everybody says, "Man, what you're doing is great. It's such a great idea. I'm got your back." All that. That's cool. But what I do need, what this needs, right? This Let's Start Something is you. Anybody and everybody that watches this video. If you don't want to share your life story, if you don't want to help through this process, light just went on. It's storming behind me, by the way. This is about ready to get nasty. Um, what I'm saying, if you don't, or not even interested, hey, listen, if you find it on Facebook, share it. Make a comment, share, send it on its way because somebody else will see it. The idea is a great idea only because social media is going to be more important to me and important to this organization eventually. This network of caring people who will understand what's going on in our community and help people get off the streets. Not just off the streets, but off of drugs, especially fentanyl blues, which is my focus. I've been on everything except psychotropics. I hated acid. I wasn't into any of that. I didn't start doing shrooms until I was like maybe 30. And I did that like maybe 5 times. You know, it wasn't my thing. But it was cool when I did it. Like, yeah, it's different, you know what I mean? But it's not my thing. You know what I mean? I don't like shit, my mind being played with. I stopped taking psychotropic drugs back when I was 25 because they said I was bipolar. But guess what? I was just an emotional guy because I always wore my heart on my sleeve and I always did whatever I can for everybody else except myself. I didn't know how to take care of myself. My mom kind of spoiled me in that way because when I was younger, it was all about me and nobody else. My mom clung to me. She was more worried about my situation than anything else because she felt that she felt my brother, my sister, my oldest brother and sister was already gone out of the state, waiting on the other side of the country. And so I know what my mom was going through. She wanted to save me from this family. Right? Our family was okay. My dad was an immature father. I never liked him for that. I've never called him. I've never even. The only time I got in his face was when he tried to get mine. I'm like, you're out of your mind. I told him when I was 13, you're never going to touch me again. The last time he spanked me, he took the belt out of his hand and said, that's going to be the last time. And I was dead serious about it. Because the only time he ever showed up was to whoop me or to discipline me because that's all that my mom wanted from me. Because there was things that she couldn't do, you know, and things which she wasn't capable of doing. I was a run-a-month kind of guy. By the time I was 13, I'd disappear 3 or 4 days, a week at a time. And after a while, my mom would call the cops and just expected to see me within a week. Kind of crazy, you know, that stuff. Listen, I was just self-centered, selfish. Most little boys can be, most youngsters can be, especially any as a kid. I don't care if you're a man or you're a woman or a child. You know, what it turns out to be is that, you know, it's all about me. And, you know, that catapulted me into the wrong direction, especially because I really admired my brother. My brother was more my dad than my dad ever was, right? I never admired or looked up to my dad for anything. The only thing that impressed me about him was that in his business, he was a traveling salesman for White Westinghouse, Frigidaire, and some other companies. He was #1 salesman twice in the world. Out of the whole world, #1 salesman twice. He had bronze freaking plaques to prove it. It said right on there was plaques. #1 salesman in the world twice. So I thought that was impressive. But my dad was like, you give to gab, you know what I mean? He gets you down and talk you out of your shorts, whatever it needs to be, and then ask if you'll buy him back. He was good at it, and so am I. I was. I quit doing that kind of manipulation and lying way back when, before I even got out of the prison the first time. What I felt and what I knew was I was taking advantage of my family. I ripped off my mom, I stole from her, ripped off my brother, I ripped off my sister. Everybody in my house I ripped off one way or another. And some things started happening even before I started getting into drugs. And once I got into drugs, it was a no-brainer, man. When I was suffering and I needed it so bad, things in the house started missing. And my mom knew it. And, you know, the thing is that I'm kind of a piece of shit for doing this because there was so much bad negativity in the house when I was a kid that surrounded my situation. My mom never wanted to go back to that house because all wasn't just me, you know what I mean? It was losing David, my oldest brother. He died at age 93. There was a lot of pressure there. The house didn't feel right anymore, and I understand that, but a lot of it had to do with me. You know, I was just out of control. And what it was this serious addiction to crack cocaine. But I ended up whooping that when I was in prison for the first time. I really understood why I messed up, how I messed up, and I felt a lot of guilt and remorse for that, and I worked really hard to let that go and to love my family again, which they loved me unconditionally at that time. But after so many times, even though they haven't been ripped off anymore, and you don't keep them close, you're not calling them to rip them off all the time, they just got tired of it. You know what I mean? They got tired of the drama surrounding me, and I get that totally. I don't fault them for that at all, and that's what I like with drug addicts, with drug addicts, is that, listen, it's all about you. It's all about survival. I treated people on the streets better than I treated my family. I gave them everything they wanted when I had it. Drugs, money, time. None of my family got that. So that was a rough thing growing up. I was just a youngster when I started. I started methamphetamines when I was 15. And I started cocaine when I was now 17, 18. And around the same time, I started heroin. I introduced me to that. He came to my house, who helped pay my bills and helped get me high because he was a dope dealer. But yeah, he turned me on to heroin, and he gave me Hep C. Even he's dead now. He died of Hep C. He gave it to me, but I woke up in 2014 and it was gone. I had no viral load. It just disappeared. I never took medication for it at all. Thank God, because at the time my dad kept bugging me. He's like, look, you need to take this Harmony, you need to do all this. And my dad, I'm in the Department of Corrections, but they're not going to pay me this to save my life because it's like $5,000 in treatment. And so, but anyways, before his death, I woke up and it was gone. And I got tested 6 months later, and I got tested 6 months later. I was recently tested another 1 weeks ago. It's been gone for years, but the Lord took it from me. I know for a fact He did. You know, I had it for about 15 years. How do you have an illness like that for 15 years and just wake up and it's all gone? Because God was giving me a break. He showed me mercy, in my opinion. You know, I'm like 1 in, I don't know what the actual odds are, 1 in 13 or something like that. That's a pretty good chunk. And I'm not like proud of that because I didn't do anything to deserve that. I don't deserve that. As a matter of fact, even after I do that, you know, for somebody else to shoot them. Recently, like a year and a half ago, one guy said, oh, I got Hep C, I won't use it. I don't give a shit, give it to me. Did it anyways. You know what I'm saying? I was worried that about it again. Thank God I didn't. There's no viral load, no evidence of it. I do have antibodies for that, A and B, so I'm good. I'm healthy as an ox, otherwise my legs, you know what I mean? I can't wait to get back in the gym. That's my focus. I haven't been in the gym as an adult out here, at least not recently, and I can't wait to get back in here. So tired of this fucking wheelchair, you know what I'm saying? I've been in this fucking chair for 5 months, you know, a few days of the actual 5 months, and it'll be also 5 months of my recovery because I haven't picked up any drugs. And it's my choice. That's what makes me so proud of myself. I actually chose not to do this anymore. It was very hard, very difficult. My way of doing it was 2% of the population may have done that. It was an accident. I had no intentions of giving it up. But it was either stop or die. And I couldn't even move anymore. My leg was so messed up. The infection was so bad. I had a hole in the top of my leg that was about this big and 2 centimeters deep. I mean, when they went to clean it out, I watched them bury a freaking a Q-tip that big in my fucking leg. You know, and I went to the hyperbaric chamber, which is like $5,000 a day, and they're really trying to save this leg, which the other hospital I first saw said they were going to cut it off, and I was not going to let them cut my leg off. But today, if for some reason this next procedure doesn't work, I don't care. Lose it, dude. I don't need it. It's going to prevent me from walking. It's going to prevent me from doing what I got to do to take care of it. They got really good prosthetics these days, and I'll be fine. You know what I mean? If I have to knock on the door of the woman who dragged me down the street for 2 miles and left me to dead for dead, she's gonna help pay my bills. I don't give a shit. But anyways, that was all because I was just stupid, making a mistake. You know what I mean? I remember I was really sick that day, and a guy got me well, and an hour later I'm driving across the street, and I run past this tanker, but I didn't see her coming because she was passing on the right side, and so I was blinded to even her even being there, and I'm thinking, all I gotta beat is this tanker, and I got wheels, right? As soon as I got past that, boom, took me for 2 miles, left me for dead. I didn't have a choice in the surgeries or the procedures they were doing on my legs, and I didn't have any education, nor was I even awake. I didn't wake up until it was all over. Crazy thing. It's not the first time. I fell through a skylight working for a church. 2.5 stories. I landed on a tree. The tree rolled me over onto a railing that was aluminum and bowed it like this. And I landed on that floor. It saved my life. If I would have missed that tree, I would have went another 1.5 stories and probably either be paralyzed or dead. So thank God that happened. I mean, I was falling through it just like the movie. The glass was falling with me. It was like slow motion. I'll never forget it. So that being the case, I hope I still have that. I was thinking about something. Yeah, so sorry. It's storming like that. I might do something. You know what I mean? I put everything wrapped up in my shirt on my lap so I don't drop it. Or in my backpack that my pastor gave me. So awesome. You can ask me for that. That's probably in the backpack. I need new clothes. He brought me this shirt. You know what I mean? A woman that I met over Desert Turn bought me this Raiders hat, and I actually traded her food stamps for that, but she still owes me about $200 anyways. But she's special, and she's a friend. She lives in Buckeye, and she's nowhere close, but she's a good person. So, and I don't mind, you know what I mean? I don't need anything right now because all my needs are being met. My house, my medication, my food. I haven't had a dime in my pocket in probably 6 or 7 months. Not that far, but I was, everything I had was hustle every day. You know what I mean? To eat, drink, to get high, to survive. I tried not to go to sleep because the minute I would go to sleep, my shit would come up missing. And nothing worse than waking up and all your shit's gone. One time I got so pissed off and I was so pathetic that I went right into Walmart knowing that they're going to catch me because I'm not being careful. I'm just pissed off. I want my shit back, right? And it's not their responsibility. But I went in there and took a bunch of shit, and I looked right up at the camera, and there's a screen there. I could see myself. And I still grabbed something, and sure enough, cops on the way out. This time was totally different. No cops, no ticket, just a signature saying that I won't be back. And that was kind of interesting. I was kind of impressed with that. But I was gone. And given the times, they had to do that because if they popped everybody and everybody they popped, they wanted to spend money on trying to take them to jail, take them to court, and they'd go broke because this community was so sick and suffering, we had no money, no place to live, all that shit. And I hate to let go, I haven't felt that in my life. It took me a while to do it, but I had to. It actually took me months before I did. I was panhandling and hustling and selling and doing all kinds of stuff before that. And then it came down to I can't do this anymore. You can't do it anymore. So I went back to my old ways in order to survive. I had to get clothes all the time. You know what I mean? I washed up in the QT or Circle K all the time. That's how I stayed clean, Once in a while I might find somebody's couch to lay on or a shower to take, but it was rare and far between. It literally was on the streets all the time, 2 years. I mean, I know people here that there was a guy I met the other day, 12 years, but he's off the streets, he's doing good. He's a happy person, he's doing what he's going to do. I can't wait to have his interview for this purpose. So, I promised a friend of mine, so to speak, that I would only do this for about 10 minutes. It's already been 20 minutes because the first video got cut off because somebody bumped the table. Anyways, I've just been rambling on about bullshit, right? But the reality of it is, what I want you to understand is that life as an addict is crazy, but life being sober is amazing. And I don't trust somebody that's never been through the fire. If you've never been through the fire, all you do is read a book, saw the news, don't know what it's like to have nothing, to be down and out. I had people when I was a kid trying to teach me how to be a sober individual, but never went through, couldn't even walk a day in my shoes without puking themselves and probably, run into somebody's arms, help me. That's not dead serious. My life was full of dread, misery, right up until about a few months ago. Until I woke up and I said to myself, this is me. What is really going on? Why am I letting this be me? I let people that I cared about drive my car. You see, everybody's got a car and they are at the wheel, right? You probably heard Jesus take the wheel. That's a very true statement. Like, you cannot take the wheel yourself. You got to give it to somebody you can trust to take it. And so I let them take my wheel because I trusted them and I loved them. And I compromised who I was and my core beliefs and what I wanted to do in order to be with them because I was ignorant and selfish and stupid. I didn't know the truth. I didn't understand why I was doing it. I had low self-esteem all of a sudden. Why? There's no reason for me to have low self-esteem. I never, you know what I mean? I'm an awesome fucking dude. I really know it. I know that for a fact now. I never even saw myself this way until recently. I have people now who support me who are like, look, you're an amazing man. You're doing what you gotta do. You know what? I'm not tooting my horn. What I'm telling you is that this is going in the right direction only because I'm being selfless. This is not about me. I mean, I don't have a dime to my name. Nobody's paying me to take this video. Nobody's paying me to talk to you. Nobody's, provoking me to do this other than my past. My past provokes me to do this because people think I'm going to fail. And they've always treated me like a failure, and that's not true. Apart from most people, I get shit done. And even when I'm on the streets, I do. I'm a really good hustler. I'm still alive. I've been able to do what I've got to do each and every day, and I haven't had to count on anybody for help. And the only people I've ever reached out to is my mom, maybe my brother, sister once and twice in my lifetime. But my mom would take care of me when she needed to, where she felt she could help me, and a lot of times she'd just tell me, Michael, I can't do it. I'm sorry. And that would force me to do what I got to do. And I love my mom to death. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have what I have to now. I mean, she's my best friend. I feel bad because I haven't called her because I've been so busy. I can't even put my freaking phone down. Now I understand what it was like when I got out of prison like 10 years ago. I was freaked out because everybody was in their phones wherever they went. They never did anything but stay in their phones. And honestly, that's not what I want to do. But now that I put myself out there and I'm doing this, I'm getting a lot of good response. Some people have their own selfish desires. A lot of people do. And some of them are just a bunch of fake phonies. And I get through them and I love that. They're so funny. They try to hustle me for all kinds of stuff. I mean, yesterday somebody called me or texted me out of the blue. I never even knew this person. And what they did is they said, you owe me money. Okay. What are you talking about? I haven't had a contract or borrowed money or done anything with anybody or anything like that in over 3 years, other than the water bill and the electricity bill and stuff like that. I probably owe a fortune to, thanks to my ex-girlfriend who didn't pay those bills while she stayed in that house, and I couldn't sleep anywhere on the back porch once or twice in my lifetime. That was pretty miserable to have that person just walk all over me like that, like I was a piece of shit, and that was wrong. But either way, I forgive that person because I understand why she did what she did. You know what I mean? She was protecting herself from all interest. She didn't give a shit about me going into it or leaving it, and that's the truth. When people care about you, they don't hurt you. They'll never hurt you on purpose. If you make mistakes, especially like Joe Beans do, we make mistakes and we make poor choices. We're not doing it to try to hurt people. We need to numb ourselves because something is bad going on inside. Doing drugs is just a symptom of something that's really going on inside of you that you need to figure it out. And I figured it out. Now, and how I deal with that is what I'm doing right now. I'm totally open, like an open book. There's nothing in my life that I can't share. I figured out that by sharing what I share, just be honest and keep the innocent and just tell my story from my point of view. I also try to tell their story from their point of view. I hit it right, but I try to look at it the way they did it. I make excuses for people that don't deserve to get excuses made, but I do, and that helps me get on with my life because I see that people are just human beings. We're all human beings. We all bleed red, no matter what you say. White, black, Mexican, doesn't matter. We all bleed red, and we're just human beings, and we all make mistakes. We all got demons inside. We all have monsters that we have to deal with, no matter who you are. If you're a dope fiend, a single father, a lovely wife, picket fence, all that, you still have monsters you need to deal with, right? And most people get really good at hiding it. I was really good at hiding it myself. My monsters are gone, but my monsters are real. They hear that song, my monsters are real. It's true. But I'm dealing with them every day, especially recently. Now, this video is getting about 20 minutes. I'm not going to keep rambling on for 40 minutes like I've been recently. I don't think people are going to get through the video. There has been some. I'm pretty impressed when people come back to me and, oh, we're sorry about your brother, we're sorry about your son, we're so sorry about what you've been through. I'm like, look, it's all good. The point of it is that we're all human, and we need to tell our story and talk to each other so we understand how to be successful and think about our failures and things like that. Excuse me. My tool dropped. This tool turns on the video and turns off the video as I talk. I'm tired of holding things in my hand and doing it, so I like to just relax as I like to use my hands when I talk. It's kind of comical, you know what I mean? I don't know. Listen, I'm happy as can be. There are people that try to bring me down. I wrote something the other day that was really important to know on Facebook. I said, listen, when you're doing well or not doing well, the people next to you, the people closest to you, are people that don't know you are trying to bring you down. Why? Because next to you, if you're doing what you need to be doing, you make them look like a piece of shit. And, well, I got news for them. According to the Word of God, which I love, and according to the truth is we're all pieces of shit. We're born pieces of shit, like it or not. And some of us get over it, some of us can handle it very well, and some of us never get the point. We never get better. All we can do is just keep moving on, like the Rolling Stone. You know, we don't care what anybody thinks. We just roll well over and go to the next person or that person, whatever, and keep on going. And I said, listen, in the Word of God it says we're all pieces of shit, and according to that knowledge, get over it. And I said, hashtag read a book. And the reason for that is that the book of God is the Holy Scriptures will definitely give you some insight of what human beings are like and what God's like, whether you have faith or not. And you can't argue with any of it because all of it's 100% true. So I'm not trying to preach to you, it's just one of the things that I've been through and I know for a fact is real, both on the evil and the good side, which is very important because I've experienced both. So again, my intention is to get you, the viewer of these videos, to come to me and say, look, I have this problem, I've got that problem, I've had that problem, this is how I've been successful. The whole point of Let's Start Something is starting a conversation between you and I, whether we're doing video chatting or if you want to get me on Messenger or TikTok, whatever, just figure it out, man. Get a hold of me. YouTube channel, if you want to be a follower, all that stuff, and you want to get updates on what I'm doing and how well this is progressing, that's cool. My YouTube channel is Michael Merriman, or michaelmerriman0@gmail.com, plus Michael Merriman. My little emoji guy is a Chucky doll. Why? Because, you know, I'm a John Gruden fan. He used to coach my Raiders, and I like Chucky anyway. So anyways, look for that for the YouTube channel, or just any kind of information you want to get. Unfortunately, people are stealing and hacking my stuff, which is pissing me off, but I'll handle it some at a later date. But what's more important is I don't have anything to take. So the more people do that, the more ignorant they look, because they assume that I got money, which is retarded. They don't listen or pay attention to who I am and what I'm doing. So I want everybody to know that I care a lot about you. If I've never met you before, if you're black, if you're Mexican, Chinese, Vietnamese, Taiwanese, Japanese, you know, I don't care if you're from Poland, Russian, Ukraine, it doesn't matter. Bosnia, you know, Iraq, you know, it doesn't matter to me. What matters is that we're, as a whole, as a people, we got issues that we're not dealing with anymore. We let our government and our schools and our friends and everybody dictate what we do and what we don't do. I live in a free country, and we've forgotten how to express ourselves, except those who get rich off of making rap videos and writing songs. And guess what? I can sing, I can rap, and I'm extremely talented. I got more talented in my pinky than most of those dudes have in their whole hand. I just haven't focused and done anything with it. So that ship has sailed, but I still want to do it for fun. I intend to write a song for my son, who he actually started the song. I'm just going to finish it and have fun. I guarantee that's going to happen someday. I got the help and the know-how to do it, but I'm focusing on this right now. I want you to know that I love you. You may not realize that, but I do. I don't know where this came from, other than I don't want anybody to ever feel the pain and misery I felt in the last 2 years. It's bad. It's to the point where there's no way I've ever seen anybody fail or be in the situation I was in. The only reason I survived is because I could never imagine myself. I never even gave it a thought. I just hoped that one day I woke up and wasn't going to make enough labs because I got a job to do. And I got a lot of focus, and I mean what I say when I want to help you, you should help me as well. I don't have it all together, but listen, I'm 45 years old. I've seen a lot through the world. I want to help even my own children, even my ex-girlfriend, who, I don't know, the heart is black, and I'm sorry for that. And I had a lot to do with that, but it wasn't intentional. You see what I mean? You know, evil is, the evil that we don't think about is what we do to our children and our family. The basic 10 commandments, when you follow those things, people suffer. And the reason why we need to think about that stuff is that, you know, especially when it comes to people that are genuine, people that just don't get it, is you hurt them, man, and they don't get over it. I hurt my girlfriend bad because of what I become, but not because of who I am. She never knew who I was inside. She doesn't know the real me. I think she did it one time, and she respected me. That all lasted all about maybe a year and a half. But she realized I was human. She hates like she's involved in her life, but I'm just another one of those guys that lived her life. So that's going to be her story. But I want you to know something. That's not me. I never purposely hurt anyone. I was screwed up in my mind, in my body. I was demonic, oppressed recently, to the point where I actually was talking to me. It's pretty freaky, but I'll be reminded about that. I don't want people to think that I'm a fucking psycho. I have fucked with a lot of people recently. There's a lot of people that did the same exact thing. How wild is that? So this is a time when we all need to come together. We've all been scared because of COVID. It's still around. It's going to be treated like we're at an endemic. From now on, it's going to be treated like a flu. No more freaking out. No more quarantines. Those days are over. Right now, we just got to do what we got to do no matter what. Protect yourself and your family. Get your vaccination. Wear your mask. Respect other people and be distant from them. You know, give people their space. That's fair anyways. But I just would really appreciate if you got back to me and let me know what's going on. You know, get a hold of me at email, michaelmerriman@onmail.com. That's at ONMEIL.com. You can reach me on my Messenger, my Facebook. Just look up Michael Merriman. I have a few different accounts. If anyone has me with this particular hat on, so you know right away, hey, that's the guy. YouTube channel, Michael Merriman. Same thing, use my email, michaelmerriman@gmail.com. Those are 2. I have 6, but they're all for specific reasons. But I'm at the point, at the very point right now, at the peak of something very, at the foundation, at something very special. And it's not time. Just give it to me. I pray for you. Let's start something. It's more than just me. And I need feedback. I need you to tell me if you're good or if you're not good. I got a lot of friends. Most of them are just people who friend me. I don't friend anybody on Facebook. The only people I friended are family. Honest to God. There might be 1 or 2 guys, but those guys end up trying to rip me off. I'm done with that. So don't worry. See what you see, think what you think. In reality, I do care a lot. I care for you, my family, my children, my grandchildren, more than you'll ever know. I will do whatever it takes to make anybody and everybody happy within my reason, within my ability. Nobody's going to be able to or will try to take advantage of me or take me for granted. I won't allow it. There was a time in my life where people walk all over me all they want to because I was kind of passive and I didn't want to hurt those people. But that built up so bad that I almost killed a guy by hitting him 1 punch. I knocked him so hard that he was down for 20 minutes. I didn't think he was going to get back up. Thankfully, he didn't charge me. He didn't press charges. And, you know, in this state, that's kind of odd because it doesn't matter if the victim pressed charges or not. If they can prove that you committed a crime, they come after you anyways. But the cops at that time said, look, you guys are not pressing charges. You're good to go. Boom. I was so messed up. They came back and arrested me 30 minutes later for, you know, disturbing the peace and took me to CBI and dropped me off and I left and did it again. But anyways, I'm done with that kind of horse shit because you matter, we matter. Even that guy matters. I would tell him to. I was so pissed and upset with myself the week after that. I even tried talking to my girlfriend and she thought it was crazy. And all I wanted to do was tell her, look, I fucked up. I almost killed this fucking dude because I was so angry and scared. And the dude walked up behind me and I didn't, you know, I just turned around. That dude came 4 inches off the ground and landed head back. His eyes were wide open. He was out, lights out, and that was a huge mistake because I don't hit people. I don't ever hit people. So, coming up on 30 minutes. That's enough for me. I praise God for all of you. I praise God for another day in your life. I'm going to do whatever I can to help you guys, and just know that this is the start of something really special. And I hope that we can have a network, a community of people who will work together to make something happen. I know you got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your wife, your husband, your kids. If you don't, you may have some extra things laying around the house that you don't need, money and stuff like that. Figure out a way to use that to help the community. I'm going to itemize everything I ever have, every donation, everything I ever spend. It's all going to be transparent so people will know that I'm dead serious about what I'm doing. This is not about lining my pockets. This is about hope, and not a lot of people have that right now. And I want to give people hope because I'm going to do whatever it takes to get you off the streets, to get you off dope. You need to have information. The public needs information, including those that don't even know what we're going through. I want to change the laws, and I'm definitely serious about that. I want to tell you that I have friends who have dreams about us doing that together, walking in thousands hand in hand to the Capitol and making shit happen. Those dreams are not far-fetched. I see that happening. Not with just me, but with other people. I hope to inspire you to do the right thing. That's why I'm doing this. God